Natalia was doing her show. She fulfilled her heels effortlessly bonded to their new job. 3 years later, they decided to adopt again. Because the adoption process had changed in Ukraine, the couple applied to Russia. On January 27, 2004, Peggy and Chris adopted 16-month-old Lena from an orphanage in Siberia. The Russian system has well over 700,000 children that are in orphanage care not careful. They're all deprived, they're all lacking in appropriate caretaking and nutrition support, medical care support. But soon after they brought Nina home, Peggy claimed she realized right away that something was wrong. She expected that any child coming out of an institutional setting, especially deprived Eastern Bloc countries, is going to be special. We got home with Nina from a press show. So they're just gone. Started coming out right away. And I tried to.
Doesn't that look good?
She was very defiant. Unlike their first child, Peggy says she struggled to bond with Nina. The
$300 down for cable.
Her daughter's alleged emotional and behavioral.
Did I show you the price of that stuff?
Peggy claims she did her best to make it work, but never sought help from doctors. She would cry and push away. I assumed it was something I was doing wrong or not doing right.
Reactive attachment disorder is a condition that sometimes impacts the institutional aspect. They often will have trouble with attaching to others, meaning they prefer to be left alone and isolated with difficult to soothe and comfort.
I had sort of a shattered bond, where she was there.
And I got the day cream and night cream, which are the same price. They're both $300 a piece.
It's crazy.
I know.
However,
And then I showed you I got the refill with that syringe.
as the primary caretaker, Peggy continued to be frustrated with her inability to bond with Nina and turned to her husband for help. However, Chris did not have the same negative experience with their adopted daughter. He saw difficulties. But whatever it was,
Peggy probably thought she could develop a love for this child too over time and bond. But that never worked. Nobody was able to bond with this child.
Peggy claimed Lena became more difficult to deal with. As a result, her own problems began to spiral out of control. She started drinking and her problems were becoming more evident. She left. Peggy says her husband thought a change of scenery would help. In August 2004, the Hills moved to Wake Forest, North Carolina. But the plan backfired. A very bad choice. Carolina, I don't want to be in my depression. It's off of it, really the first thing to figure out why I can make this happen. Or better, pushing to my days missed the split, undo what she had destroyed again. She's been waiting for years and it was happening. She was pregnant in January 2005. 2 months later, she suffered a miscarriage. Once again, Peggy admits she turned to drinking to console her pain.
Let's go to water treatment control.
situation reached a crisis on July 1st, 2005. While her husband was at work, Peggy was at home with her daughters, preparing for a trip to visit relatives.
I'm in a very difficult way. I've been taken for a fucking house.
Peggy said Nina tumbled while playing on the stairs.
Said bruises on my face for step falling. It's a very rough day for her. I think she's not feeling well. She's been worse than usual.
A couple hours later, Bill says Nina attacked her sister Natalia. Peggy became enraged.
We've gone Sharon, but something happened. I saw that he grabbed me and then I took her upstairs. And I just I lost. It happened so fast. It was just
When Women Behind Bars continues, Peggy called 911, begging for help.
Head home at the central swamp lift.
2004. To the half hour of lying on the bed, walked out of the room and shut the door behind her. She was alone in the room for 3 hours.
I just lost it like that. That's the dance then. Sobering up. Finished getting ready for the trip. Taking care of the dog. I just called Peggy. Just like, oh no one else can got me.
At 5:30 p.m., when her husband Chris returned, Peggy lied about the cause of Nina's injuries.
She had covered up a lot of her body so Christopher couldn't see.
He saw the bruises on her face.
Raccoons are back.
check, mic check. God damn, that force thing. Holy shit.
Babe, there's like hella raccoons in that tree.
No,
There's hella raccoons in that tree.
I've seen that. Then. Did those people downstairs turn the light on?
No, I just did nighttime.
Oh,
Yeah.
'cause it looks like it's pitch black down.
It is pitch black down there, baby. I was hoping you had a flashlight with you.
Let's head home at the central swamp lift.
Oh, shit.
My bad. Dang shit.
Oh, dang.
I know I ain't shit.
Hold on. Flash.
I know. I turned it down. There's hell of them. There's like 7 or 8 of them in this ditch. Look at these 2 little motherfuckers up here.
It's crazy, bro.
Operator here. Received your request. Stand by. I'm sending the elevator. Elevator's up. Securing hatch. Opening. Stand by.
Yo, can I leave with you?
The hatch is open. Proceed to elevator.
Can I help you with that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. When you finally went out there, I was able to see their silhouette.
Oh, there were, for a second, I thought all the ones that were currently on the trees were more adult. Because I've seen like 4 of them go from the tree to the roof and like go away. So there were 4 more, even smaller ones. I closed the window out there. That's what was freaking me out for sure. With the rats are one thing. The raccoons though are a whole different breed. Jesus destruction. Oh, my God, dude.
You get it coming. You get 2. Please. Thank you.
2, 3, and 4 charging catapults. Discharge in 5 seconds.
I'm the guy.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
That's my murder woman check. Woman murdering check.
They continued to prepare for the trip to Virginia, and Nina was going to her father, complaining he was something. She was starting to have a fever. During the
Let's head
4-hour
home at the
drive
North
to
Complex
Moses,
elevator.
Virginia, to visit relatives, Nina began to show signs of physical distress.
I did not realize the need for that. For that.
Still, the young mother was intent on hiding Nina's injuries from her husband.
I'm sure that's what girls says. I'm starting to sleep.
Peggy Hilt went to Great Lakes, not only the route to Virginia, but once she wanted to get access to hide the bruising and injuries that she inflicted on Nina. Throughout the night, Nina's condition worsened.
So much for the look at the paper. It's kind of hard to do, you know. I didn't.
The next morning, Nina couldn't keep anything down.
Obviously, her body was not mending. It was starting to break down.
By 9 a.m., everyone left the house but Peggy, who stayed behind to be with Nina.
She still had a party so with her. She was drinking her sippy cup. And she just couldn't stop. And kind of went limp. That's when I got scared. I could tell she wasn't breathing. So I ran back inside and laid her on the floor. I called her. She was CPR on her and she didn't know. I'm not sure.
The ambulance arrived 10 minutes after Peggy called 911. But when Nina Hill's body arrived at the local hospital, authorities summoned the police.
And when we got there, they took us to said she had died.
She had bruises on her face. She had a cut lip. She had bruises on her collarbone, neck, her abdomen, her legs.
When questioned by the police, Peggy stuck to her original story.
What had happened at their home on Friday afternoon in Wake Forest, and that Nina had been carrying toys up the stairs, and that she had fallen backwards.
They let us see Nina's body.
Christopher just looked down at his daughter, at Peggy, and he couldn't believe what he saw.
On Sunday, July 3rd, an autopsy performed on Nina Hilt revealed that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the abdomen.
The autopsy clarified the fact that it was a definite cause.
The police called Peggy in for more questioning.
I don't remember much of anything except the police did call her rooms. What's your question?
24 hours after her daughter died, Peggy recalls having a sudden realization that she had caused Nina's death.
I woke up and I sat up in bed and said, oh my God, I did this.
The next morning, Peggy finally told her husband the truth.
I told him what had happened. He just started crying. He was supportive and distant. He was hurt and shocked, confused.
After consulting with her lawyer, Peggy confessed to the police.
She started right away with, "I hurt Nina."
I was pretty sure that I had caused Nina's death. I needed to, become.
On Wednesday, July 6th, Kathleen O'Schlegel interviewed Peggy Hilt for 3 hours.
Was anybody else in the home on Friday around 2:30 when this was happening? Where was she?
One thing in the interview that sort of stood out was when she speaks about the bonding and how they just could never bond, and how she felt that this child preferred anybody else in the world to her.
They never bonded.
The motive was ultimately the lack of bonding and resentment and anger towards her child.
Authorities charged Peggy with second-degree murder and incarcerated her in the county jail.
Peggy Hilt appeared at circuit court and pled guilty to second-degree murder.
In the sentencing phase, the defense argued that Peggy was a troubled woman who should have sought help for her problems.
We're trying to mention that alcoholism and apparently
Paul Ebert argued for a stiff sentence for Peggy's role in Nina's lethal beating.
So I just
Initially, Oliver had asked for a harsh sentence, saying that there was no excuse for what she had done.
When Women Behind Bars continues.
Worse than punished. Nina Hill's death marked the 14th death of a child adopted from Russia in the U.S.
And later in this episode of Women Behind Bars, a woman is accused of killing her husband for his pension money by pushing him into a river.
went underwater and came up and said, "Help me, please help me." I'm in the grave, that's not what happened.
On March 1st, 2006, Peggy Hill pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the fatal beating of her 2.5-year-old daughter, Nina, who was adopted from Russia. Meanwhile, after Nina's tragic death, Russian authorities called for a hold on adoptions in the United States.
There was a lot of uproar from people in Russia and said that the president had children were being brought to the U.S. adopted by them instead of being reviewed.
Got free kid. You got nothing. Wow.
Outraged public cried out for a severe sentence for 34-year-old Peggy Hill.
So a lot of frustrated parents here that
So many house.
many emotions when she did say, "I'm sorry." It was barely audible.
At that time, Judge Hamlin handed down a sentence of 35 years with 10 suspended, and Peggy did.
Three months later, Hilt's attorney presented a motion to further reduce Peggy's prison term. He argued that the international media attention may have had an impact on Hilt's original sentence. The judge granted the motion and shortened Peggy's prison term from 25 years to 19 years. The public was divided on the outcome.
Now that the country is politicians, the Russians want to say he is fairly punished.
The fact that Peggy Hill was started to middle is something that I think is going off justice.
First, the person, I think she should get on top of what she did to you. Some of those people were angry with me. And many of them was in the same situation. I never in a million years would have dreamed myself in that type of a situation. And here I sit.
Peggy Hill violated the most sacred trust a child has in a parent, and that is to keep them safe and provide a loving environment. 19 years is not enough for Peggy Hill.
The people that hate me,